Welcome to Wonder Tales for Kids, where magical stories come alive to spark young imaginations. Our enchanting tales teach valuable lessons about kindness, creativity, and discovering the world around us. Each story is carefully crafted to inspire children while entertaining them with delightful characters and heartwarming adventures. Join our community of young explorers and dreamers. Like and subscribe to support our channel and never miss a wonderful story. Today's special tale is called Lola's Lunchtime, a Feast of Differences. We'll meet Lola, a bright red fox who learns an important lesson about celebrating what makes us unique. Through her forest adventure with wise friends like Mr. Brock the Badger, children will discover how our differences make the world more beautiful and interesting. So settle in comfortably and let's begin our woodland journey together. Chapter 1. The Morning Gathering. As golden sunbeams danced through the leafy canopy, the forest clearing sparkled with morning dew. Birds chirped their cheerful melodies while squirrels chattered excitedly in the branches above. This magical spot was where all the woodland creatures gathered each day for their special lunchtime tradition. The air buzzed with anticipation as noon approached, everyone preparing for their favourite time of day together. In a cosy den beneath an old oak tree, Lola the red fox hummed happily as she prepared her lunch. Her bright eyes sparkled with joy as she carefully selected the plumpest berries from her collection, each one gleaming like a tiny jewel. She added crunchy acorns and sweet hazelnuts to her meal, arranging everything perfectly on a broad green leaf that she folded with gentle paws into a beautiful natural package. Lola's fluffy tail swished with excitement as she thought about sharing lunchtime with her forest friends. This daily gathering wasn't just about eating, it was about friendship, laughter, and the warm feeling of belonging. She tucked her leaf bundle carefully into her carrying pouch and stepped into the sunshine. The clearing was already filling with familiar faces, each friend bringing their own special meal to share in this cherished woodland tradition. Chapter 2. Lola's Special Lunch. The morning sun painted golden patches across the forest clearing as Lola scampered along the winding path. Her fluffy tail bounced with each hop, and in her small paws she carried something precious, a leaf-wrapped bundle that held her most wonderful lunch. Her whiskers twitched with excitement as she thought about the treats waiting inside. Oh, how proud she felt! Inside her special bundle were plump blueberries that burst with sweetness, dark blackberries picked from the sunniest spots, and her favourite, perfectly roasted acorns and walnuts. Her mother had shown her the secret of roasting them just right, turning them golden and crunchy. The nutty aroma made her tummy rumble as she hurried toward the clearing where all her friends would gather. The clearing opened before her like a green carpet dotted with wildflowers. Other animals were already arriving, rabbits hopping in with their bundles, birds fluttering down from branches, and even Harold the Hedgehog rolling carefully along the path. Everyone carried their own leaf-wrapped lunches, and cheerful chatter filled the air. Lola's heart swelled with happiness. Lunchtime in the forest was always the best part of the day. Lola spotted her favourite place, a soft, moss-covered log that caught the perfect amount of sunshine. She settled down, placing her precious bundle beside her with care. All around, her friends were finding their own special spots. Some chose sunny rocks, others picked shady ferns, and the birds perched on low branches. The clearing buzzed with anticipation as everyone prepared to unwrap their meals together. This was the moment Lola loved most, when all the forest friends would share this special time together. She watched as her friends chatted and laughed, their lunch bundles still wrapped in leaves of different shapes and sizes. Her paws tingled with excitement to show everyone her carefully selected feast. Soon they would all unwrap their lunches, and the clearing would fill with the wonderful smells and sights of their different meals. Chapter 3. Whispers in the Clearing. As Lola carefully unwrapped her leaf bundle, the clearing filled with soft murmurs. Her keen fox ears picked up every sound, the rabbits' hushed giggles, the squirrels' quiet chittering. She glanced around, her amber eyes catching the other animals stealing glances at her simple meal of forest berries and crunchy nuts. The rabbit family huddled together, their clover sandwiches held daintily in their paws. Behind their twitching whiskers, Lola could see their smiles, not friendly ones, but the kind that made her stomach feel tight. The youngest rabbit pointed at Lola's lunch, whispering something that made his siblings giggle even louder, their long ears flopping with amusement. Even the usually polite deer family seemed different today. As they nibbled their tender shoots arranged like tiny bouquets, their large, gentle eyes kept drifting toward Lola. The fawn leaned close to her mother, asking something in a voice just loud enough for Lola to hear. "Why doesn't she have a proper lunch like us?" The words stung worse than winter wind. Lola's fluffy tail, usually held high with pride, slowly curled around her body like a shield. Her pointed ears, which normally stood alert and curious, began to droop lower and lower. The berries that had seemed so sweet this morning now felt heavy in her paws. With trembling movements, she began rewrapping her food, each fold of the leaf hiding not just her lunch, but her shame too. The hunger in her belly was nothing compared to the ache in her heart. As the other animals continued their feast, Lola sat alone, her lunch bundled tightly beside her. She watched a butterfly dance past, wishing she could be that free, that invisible. In that moment, being different didn't feel special or unique. It felt lonely, like being the only red leaf in a forest of green. Chapter 4. Mr. Brock's Wisdom. Through the busy forest clearing came Mr. Brock, an old badger with silver streaks running through his dark fur. His eyes twinkled with kindness as they settled on Lola, who sat all alone with her lunch carefully hidden beneath a pile of autumn leaves. The wise badger's whiskers twitched thoughtfully. Mr. Brock waddled over slowly, carrying his own lunch basket filled with earthworms and grubs. Some nearby squirrels wrinkled their noses at the sight, but the old badger didn't seem to notice, or perhaps he simply didn't mind. With a gentle grunt, he settled his round body right beside Lola on the soft moss. "Hello there, young one," Mr. Brock said warmly, unpacking his unusual meal without any hint of embarrassment. Lola watched in wonder as he arranged his earthworms on a flat stone. The badger's calm confidence made her peek out from behind her paws. "Would you like to hear a story?" he asked, his voice as cozy as honey. "Many seasons ago," Mr. Brock began, "I attended my very first forest gathering. Oh, how nervous I was. When I opened my lunch of grubs and beetles, everyone stared. Some animals even moved away from me. I felt so ashamed that I wanted to dig a hole and disappear into it forever, just like any proper badger would. But then I realized something important," Mr. Brock continued, his eyes crinkling with wisdom. "Every creature's meal tells a beautiful story. My earthworms speak of midnight digging and ancient badger traditions. Your lunch, whatever it may be, tells the story of who you are and where you come from. That's nothing to hide, dear Lola. It's something to celebrate." Chapter 5. A Feast of Differences. Lola's heart fluttered like butterfly wings as Mr. Brock's kind words echoed through the clearing. She took a deep breath, stood up on her tiny paws, and cleared her throat. "Forest Feast Festival," she squeaked, her voice growing stronger with each word. "What if we all shared not just our food, but the stories behind them too?" The clearing fell silent. Then, surprisingly, the bears stepped forward first. They placed a golden honeycomb in the center, its sweet scent filling the air. "This honey comes from the ancient bee tree," rumbled Papa Bear proudly. "Our family has protected it for generations. The bees trust us, and in return, they share their treasure. It reminds us that kindness creates sweetness." The otters splashed forward next, carrying silvery fish on broad leaves. "We caught these during our morning swim," they chirped excitedly. The river was sparkling like diamonds, and we dove deep where the water runs cold and clear. Each fish represents a perfect dive, a moment of joy in the rushing current. Swimming together makes every catch taste better. The birds fluttered down, sprinkling colorful seeds across the feast. "These seeds come from meadows beyond the mountains," they sang in harmony. "We gathered them on our long journeys, each one a memory of distant flowers and warm sunshine. Some are spicy, some are sweet, just like the places we've visited. Sharing them brings those faraway lands right here to our forest." Finally, with Mr. Brock's encouraging nod, Lola unwrapped her berries and nuts. "My grandmother taught me to find the sweetest berries by following the morning dew," she said softly. "And these nuts, they remind me of cozy autumn days preparing for winter together." The clearing transformed into a magical celebration where every bite told a story and every difference became a treasure to share. Chapter 6. New Friends, New Tastes. The forest clearing buzzed with excitement as curious creatures gathered around the woodland feast. Timid rabbits hopped closer to Lola's colourful berries, their pink noses twitching with interest. One brave bunny took a tiny nibble, then another, and soon his whiskers danced with delight. Sweet juice dribbled down his furry chin. Lola watched nervously as a rabbit offered her fresh clover in return. She'd never eaten rabbit food before, but when she tasted the crisp green leaves, her eyes widened with surprise. They were wonderfully refreshing, like a cool drink on a hot day. Around them, the clearing filled with happy munching sounds and giggles of discovery. A tiny field mouse named Pip trembled before a golden drop of honey. He'd always been too scared to try bear food. But with everyone cheering him on, he touched his tongue to the sweetness and squeaked with joy. Even the proud peacock, who usually ate only the finest seeds, admitted the simple acorns were absolutely delicious. The whispers and giggles from earlier had transformed into cheerful chatter and laughter. Animals who'd never spoken before were now sharing recipes and stories. A circle formed around Lola as friends begged to know her berry-picking secrets. She stood tall, no longer hiding, teaching them about the ripest berries and the best bushes in the forest. As the sun filtered through the trees, the clearing sparkled with newfound friendship. Different foods brought different animals together, creating bonds stronger than any they'd known. Lola smiled, surrounded by friends who celebrated her unique lunch instead of mocking it. The forest had learned that differences weren't something to fear, they were treasures to be shared. Chapter 7. The Gift of Belonging. Golden sunlight filtered through the trees as the Forest Feast Festival began to wind down. The clearing, once filled with whispers and judgment, now buzzed with warm laughter and friendly chatter. Animals helped each other pack up leftover treats, their differences forgotten in the glow of newfound friendship. What a magical transformation this special day had brought to their forest home. The animals gathered in a circle, their voices rising with excitement. "Let's do this every week," suggested Oliver Otter. "Each week a different friend can share their favourite meal." Everyone nodded eagerly, already imagining the delicious discoveries ahead. The forest feast would become their new tradition, a weekly celebration where every creature's unique tastes would be honoured and shared with joy. Lola and Mr. Brock sat side by side on a moss-covered log, watching their friends clean up together. The wise badger's eyes twinkled as he spoke softly. "Our differences aren't something to hide, little one. They're gifts we bring to the forest." Lola nodded, understanding filling her heart. She had learned that being different wasn't something to be ashamed of, it was something truly special. As twilight painted the sky purple, animals began heading home with small leaf packages tucked under their wings and paws. Inside were samples of new foods to share with their families, honey cakes, acorn bread, and even some of Lola's special treats. The forest paths echoed with promises to meet again next week, each creature eager to share more of their world with their friends. Lola walked home with a full belly and an even fuller heart. She belonged, exactly as she was. Tomorrow would bring another gathering, another chance to celebrate their beautiful differences together. Because now everyone knew the truth, the best feasts aren't just about the food. They're about bringing your authentic self to the table and welcoming others to do the same.